adult industry is still very transphobic and biphobic and homophobic.
What do you mean by that? Like they just don't shoot as many, or they actually like legitimately are like, screw these people, we're not gonna do it?
If you're male talent and you publicly begin to shoot porn with a trans woman, you might lose bookings over that because other women won't want to have sex with you because they think that like you're gonna give them like an STD, and then the directors don't want to book them because it's more difficult for them to find a female talent to work with them. It's not even personal a lot of the time. It's just the fact of like, we want to be able to make this booking as easily and as fast as possible. And if, you know, a bunch of girls just don't want to shoot with you, then they're just not going to book you.
Don't you get like asked like to the shoot saying like, yeah, I'm clean, like every time anyways?
Yeah. So we get tested every 14 days with a full STD panel.
So like that clears it.
Pretty
like,
much.
The paparazzi wave like they know us. These bitches on parade when we show up.
professional thing by any means.
Yeah, no, we're not super professional, so don't stress about it. Like, you can swear.
I was kind of thinking
obviously,
this was like a big deal. Like, wow. I'm just kidding.
This is a big letdown.
I mean, we are a big deal. We're the little pee-pee boys.
Yeah,
So we gotta.
hell yeah.
We're selling ourselves short, I think.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, someone's calling me. Dude. Oh my God. We just have this guy went to college with us, and he's like the definition of like the most random person to ever call you all the time.
Oh yeah, he'll literally just call you out of nowhere. What?
Okay.
Haven't spoken to him in years, and he'll just be like, "What's up? How you doing, man? Like, how's it going?
Yeah, like, who are you? Oh
what do you
God.
need?"
Yeah, kind of random. Like, so, like, what do you want? You know, I hate to be like that, but I have that moment a lot of times with people.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's just kind of like get to the point. Like, why are you calling me?
Yeah.
Maybe there is no point. That's the problem.
Well, you
Some
have
people
like
like to
8.5 phone numbers, don't you? Like, I'm pretty sure we've like jumped around. From,
I got 2. It's fine. Actually, no, just kidding. I have 3 because I have my iPhone and then my Google Pixel, and then I also have a Google Voice number. So I have 3.
Oh, crazy. I'm sure. Well, okay. Like, are you big enough to where like your shit gets like leaked and stuff? I don't know because
Like
I'm
my
not sure.
porn or my like doxed.
Kind of both. I was meant docs, but
I got doxed like right off the bat. I started on Facebook basically, and I had like a really popular Facebook, and then that was around the time that they started doing that thing where you had to have your legal name on your Facebook account. So basically my account got completely removed until I submitted a photo of my ID, and then they would have put it back up because back then my name was Sailor Luna, so it was up as Sailor Luna.
Oh,
and so
that's like a anime, right?
Sailor Moon, yeah. It was a ripoff
okay,
of Sailor
okay.
Moon because I love Sailor
Got it.
Moon.
Got it.
And so then I just said after a month or something, I said fuck it and just put it back up as my legal name actually. And like I guess I don't like say it, but I don't like. I'm sure it's out there if you looked for it.
If you tried hard enough.
Yeah.
And I've done so. Yes, doxed and but I've never had anyone contact like my family or my parents. Like, look at what your cousin and your daughter's
like what we were
doing.
talking about earlier. Like what we were talking about earlier, where it's like, you know, someone just is like, oh, let me be an asshole today, and like, you know, just
I haven't. I'm lucky that hasn't really happened to me, but I do feel like some of my family, my mom and my dad know what I do, but I feel like at this point, my extended family, some of them have to know for God's sakes, and they have to. Like it's been like 5 years, you know, so. I don't know.
For sure. Wait, I wanna go into that really quick. We just have to. Hey, welcome back to the number 1 podcast on OnlyFans.
This is a problem. We always just start rolling. We're like, oh yeah, there's probably like an intro thing we should do. Like we should like introduce like.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Who you are, who we are. I mean, who we are, but like do a little formal introduction.
Exactly. Like, so we got Rebecca Vanguard on the podcast. Rebecca, do you want to do your intro? Because you probably can kill one better than me and I can.
Oh, like my links and stuff?
Do your links. Tell people who you are, what you do.
Okay. Hi, my name is Rebecca Vanguard, and I'm a porn star, and my Twitter has been suspended again, so follow me on Instagram, Rebecca Vanguard.
Your Twitter
official.
got suspended?
Okay, so I've been permanently
That's wild.
suspended 3 times. So it's actually kind of cool. I'm kind of a badass when I think about it, but it also makes me like really want to cry when it gets suspended.
Well, yeah. That's like hard work.
It's a
which
lot
is
of
weird.
hard
Isn't
work.
Twitter like
Twitter is like known for allowing porn. So like,
Yeah.
why do you get suspended?
I don't know. It's either like haters reporting a bunch of my stuff, and then they realize that, oh yeah, that's someone that we've already permanently suspended, so we're suspending you again. Or because I signed up for Twitter Blue for the verification badge, and so maybe I fucked that up. So when they went to go like verify my account, they were like, oh yeah, this bitch again. She's fucking banned. What the fuck?
Yes.
Rebecca Vanguard is probably like
red
flagged. It's like they, you know, and
throws up an error code every time.
I can't.
That's so backwards to me, but your Instagram has never...
No, this is like my 6th. Instagram's even worse.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Yeah. Well, we've had an experience where like, so our joke is that we're the #1 podcast on OnlyFans. So I put that in our bio. Instagram just whacked us at the knees. Like they were like, absolutely not. Like,
did they take it down completely, or did they just like warn you? Like, you better change that shit right now.
No, they took it down, like no warning. And then we had a second account that also like, they must have just caught wind, like, oh shit, they're doing it again. And they chopped us at the knee. So like, knock on wood, but nothing's happened to this one that we're currently operating under. But
that's like the scary thing, is that like it can just get taken away like that.
Yeah, so you just kind of have to
roll with the punches.
Yeah, you really just have to be totally what's the word? Like resilient. You just have to let it roll off of you and go again. Like it means nothing, you know, and just, but it's hard not to get caught up.
Make another email.
Yeah.
Make one more email.
Change your phone number. That's why I have 2 phones, so that I can change the number to my second phone and make a new account on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, that's smart. That's super smart, actually. We should probably do that.
Plug your Instagram.
Okay. And my Instagram is Rebecca Vanguard Official. Vanguard is VANGUARD. And my OnlyFans is onlyfans.com/Rebecca Vanguard. And yeah, unfortunately, like, and I have a ManyVids clip store, and that's you can search Rebecca Vanguard on ManyVids, or it is RebeccaVanguard.manyvids.com. Super easy links.
Cool.
I love it.
Awesome. Hey, and we'll make it even easier for everyone. We're going to put all that in the description.
I don't think we can.
Oh, no, you can't.
Okay.
We are not
don't actually, you have to write it down. It's like when someone calls you for a voicemail, that you got to say it twice, like those commercials.
Yeah, you got to write it down.
Yeah, you got to write that shit down.
We got to come up with a cool jingle for it.
Yeah.
I'll repeat it at the end for everyone to write down. Quick, grab your pen and paper, quick.
Yep, we'll remind you.
Yeah.
No, this podcast I feel like is going to be a good one. Like Rebecca and I were texting back and forth about like crazy topics we could talk about. Zemi and I also wrote out like a bunch of questions that we have more based around like, we want to know the back end. Like I think that's the part that people not only like don't get exposed to, but almost like fight getting exposure to, if that makes sense. Like they don't care about the background of the porn industry, but like people should, because it's like something that's very like there's like a bad rep to it, but like everybody consumes it. Literally everybody does. Yeah. And so like we want to know more about that back end, and kind of starting from what you were talking about. So like your family, like what does that look like with your family? And then maybe also could you weave in like, what did your journey look like as you like made it into the porn industry?
I was approached by an older guy. He also lived in Sioux Falls, and he is like #1 on X videos and popular on Pornhub. Well, and then he literally...
Is he like a producer, or was he like a...
Yeah, he was like a kind of more of like an amateur producer, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't want him to get any exposure. And anybody who like knows me, like they know who the fuck I'm talking about. And it's super easy to find. It's some of my most popular videos. And so when he approached me and asked me to do it, I thought about it for like a good 6 months or more, because like, you know, I realized that if I do this, there's not really any going back.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then I'm also going to look extra dumb if I do this and then like quit and like give up. So I was like, I really need to want this, or else, because it does change the trajectory of your life now. Like, because now that I've done this job for 5 years and I wanted to get a normal job, what would I tell them? What would I say? Like, why? What have you been doing for the last 5 years?
Yeah.
Oh, just porn and other sex work activities. Like, they don't want to hear that. You know, they're not going to hire me. Well, I don't know. Maybe like certain places or like LA.
Yeah.
But whatever. I don't know. Probably not. Yeah. So, I started actually my first like 10, 15 videos were amateur. I jumped right into hardcore. I didn't do like solo or like lesbian only or anything. I just jumped into boy girl. and they were shot in South Dakota. And I think that's kind of cool. I think that's kind of unique little fact. Yeah, they were shot at the guy's apartment in Sioux Falls.
It took me until now to I was like, you kept saying Sioux Falls,
South
then
Dakota,
before, and I was like,
yeah,
I was like trying to put that. I was like, I know where that is, but like, why can't I think of it?
yeah.
There it is.
Only reason I know is because I have cousins there.
Oh,
but
okay.
that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so you got approached, you decided to do it, and then kind of like what took you to LA? Also, like follow. I know I'm asking you like 80 questions at a time, so take your time with it. But like, what were your parents involved in the decision? Did they agree with it right off the bat?
I think I started doing it, and I did it for like 6 months, maybe, or give or take some. And then I told my parents. I don't remember how I told them. No one was surprised. That's for sure. And then my dad was more definitely like open to it and receptive, like, okay, whatever, kind of more like, sure. My mom was really upset naturally. But I told them.
Do you think that like, do you think it's just because she didn't understand, or she just had like this pre-notion of like, this is what this has to be?
Yeah. And just also she's like one of those people that thinks like, you know, like, I don't know, I go to LA and like I'm going to get like, you know, R-worded on set or something, stuff like that. And in actuality, like you're probably not, that's probably not going to happen on set, like at work or anything.
Okay.
And that's pretty rare occurrence actually. So when it does happen, it is a big deal actually. So there's been a few incidents. But
Yeah, I would say let's roll. So like on set, describe like how it is. Like I feel like some people are like, oh, it's like you just walk into like this apartment and it's like no, like it's a full like, do you feel like it's a full production? Like it's a full
and can you talk about the vibe as well? Like on one of our podcasts we were talking about like, what does it look like? Like do you walk in on the set and you're like, oh, like Karen, like how are the kids? Like see you later, just gonna go like prep myself. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes,
like what is it? Really?
It's really
That's
like
so
that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because you'll get a lot of the same makeup artists. And then also certain producers and directors will shoot for multiple companies and multiple websites. So you'll work with the same people for different websites. And then also there's much less male performers than there are female performers. So basically the men of the industry are, they're like fucking all the time, fucking everyone, someone new all the time. But I'm fucking the same guys all the time. Like always the same male talents. So there's way less guys than girls.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why is that?
I think that honestly it's really backwards because the men get probably paid like half as much as we do on average, and
honestly good.
I mean, it's the only industry I think in the whole world where a woman gets paid hella more than the guy.
I mean, as they should, like in that case, but
that's my argument is I just don't think that that's fair. I think the guys should get paid honestly as much as the girls because it's a lot of guys can't do it, and they like, I mean, it's asking a lot. Like it's like kind of like this. There's like cameras and there's people and there's like a bunch of people, usually more. And the lights are hot, and then you also have to like have sex in all these like really uncomfortable positions. As well, so it's hard to keep your, you know, boner going.
Yeah, it's hard to keep it up.
Hard to keep it up
for sure.
And then like basically without that erection, there's no porn. There's no scene. You know?
Totally.
Wow,
if there's no pop shot, there's no what do you have? It's like that's the whole thing. You can't make a porno without a cum shot. What the fuck?
Yeah. That's crazy. I've never really thought
about it. So they're the deal breakers.
With having a dick, I've never thought about that.
Yeah, same here. I mean, it's never really been obviously like I feel like just in like sex in general, that's usually not the problem, but it's crazy to think that that's actually like that's a problem.
That's an actual
in the
problem.
Porn industry. And well, you were talking too when we were texting, like you want to talk about like most dudes end up injecting their dicks.
Yeah.
First off, with what? Like I mean, and also like what is it? Can they not take Viagra? Like I'm just so curious about this. Like I didn't even know this.
So yeah, like it's just super difficult and it's a lot of stress. They got to get hard. They got to come. So they'll take Viagra or Cialis. Then they'll take that for so long that it just doesn't really work well anymore. So then they'll try injecting, and then from there, if you keep working and injecting for every single scene that you do, eventually that'll stop working for you, and then you'll go in to have a surgery where you have a button on your balls, and you press the button and it gives you an erection. And then when you want it to go down, you press the button again. And I'm not going to say who, obviously, because that's inappropriate as fuck. But there's definitely like some of your favorite male porn stars that a lot of guys in the industry idolize, or like guys and regular guys, I guess, that think, sex gods, fucking all these girls. Well,
yeah.
You're comparing yourself to someone who literally has a robotic penis. So like,
Holy
you really
shit.
need to give yourself a break. That's why I think it's something that people need to talk about more. Like not trying to ruin the fantasy. And like, it's still a hot fantasy. Like, who cares? Like, but I just think like it's not healthy for men to watch that and be like, oh, that's the expectation. I'm supposed to get up and never go down ever. And I'm just, we're just walking hard on like for fucking 2 hours. Like, no, that's not normal. That's not okay.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Well, it's weird because like I've never seen one of those. No, you're good.
You're good.
I've never seen one of those before. I mean, just like, consuming and whatnot. But I had a follow-up question. I totally blanked. I drew a blank. But oh my God. Okay. So Johnny Sins, obviously.
Yeah.
You know who Johnny Sins is. I got for my friend's birthday, not my birthday. For my friend's birthday, I got him a cameo from Johnny Sins. It was so good.
How much was it? I'm curious.
It was 300 plus.
Not bad.
It was
That's I would do that.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. And I think that's just like another way for like them to make money. And I mean, from what you're saying, like men being underpaid in the industry is, whatever. But I think, it's just like, is
Johnny.
Okay, is he okay? He's a little. I was gonna say that man. Okay, he's good. He's got his bag.
Oh no, Johnny. Now that's the funny thing.
Yeah.
If you're good at porn and you're like on your shit on top of it,
yeah,
you'll make more than me. You'll make twice as much as the girl. There's been times I've been on set with guys that 100% I know for a fact they got paid more than me that day, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like Johnny Sins, Manuel Ferrara.
Have you seen Johnny Sins in person?
Yeah, I worked with him actually.
How is he in person? From my cameo, he just seems like the funniest guy, or just like laid back, relaxed.
He was really nice. It was when I had first started in 2018, and I was like filling in for someone. So I think everyone was kind of just grateful that I was there, so that we could shoot and all make money and go home. And I lucked out because that was my first Brazzers shoot, and they need to hire me again. I've been bugging them over and over again. I'm like, I swear to God, I'm like, you're shooting everyone else now. It's my turn. They're like, seriously? I'm like, okay, you're shooting everyone. All right.
Yeah.
Me too.
Right here.
But,
I'm right here.
And because, oh man, I looked so bad, and like they did my makeup so bad. But obviously they're in a hurry. They like this other girl that didn't work out, so everything's behind. And the first scene was he was just like kind of cameoing. He's my boyfriend, and Kira Noir was my friend from college who came to visit. She seduced my boyfriend in the shower, and I catch them in the shower. So of course I did the whole like Brazzers thing, like and, like screamed like crazy. I was just like, because that's what they want you to like overact it, make it funny. And I did a BJ, and it was kind of funny. So like I went down on him, and I don't know, I didn't want to like be like a show off or be like weird, or I don't know what I was thinking, but I was just kind of like, all right, cool. But he's not really, nothing's happening, So I'm like, okay. So I stop, and then I'm like, all right.
Don't worry, it's blocking it. You're good.
You're good.
All of that for nothing. So yeah, and then he was good, and so we did that, and then funny enough, we shot part 2 like a month or more later. And that was a 3-way with him and Kira Noir. And, but no, he was very kind, he was definitely quiet, more of a reserved guy. Definitely wasn't talkative. Probably more a bit talkative with Kira, because I think they had a little bit more of repertoire. But no, he was very nice. And,
hell yeah.
But didn't,
that's crazy.
Dude, some guys just like talk about themselves the whole time.
Yeah.
Just like, holy fucking shit, shut up.
I mean, yeah. I mean, imagine if like you're a guy and you basically like fucked a million,
sex
all the
god.
time.
Yeah,
yeah,
sex
yeah,
for a living.
yeah,
like,
and you just get to like swing like that. Like I'm sure it's pretty easy to get a pretty big ego
It's
pretty quick.
pretty hard to keep your mouth shut about it. I can imagine.
Yeah.
I wonder that too. So I imagine it must be.
Yeah.
they're the dudes that walk around like Hollywood, like, oh, yeah, you probably seen me before in my films.
Yeah.
Dude, shut up. Like, we're not focused on you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that's what the kind of the
Yeah,
joke
it's
is.
like
Like, well, they're
yeah.
not here for you, buddy. Relax.
Say like
Yeah.
90% of that audience is not there.
Yeah.
They're not looking at you, my
That
guy.
guy.
Some gay guys who prefer straight
Yeah.
porn, yeah.
Yeah.
But yep, mostly.
Crazy.
Or
I wanna
never mind.
Oh.
Sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to dive into like the scripts. Like you were kind of saying
Yes.
like how they're so like, yo, like it's like I feel like the classic in our friend group is just like, stepbrother, like stepladder. Like I see you stuck under how is like, do you like feel like it's always like this kind of like goofy script, or like are there ones you've been in that are like more like I've seen ones that are probably more like, acted out, but it seems like the more popular ones are like ones that are just like it's almost like it's like a joke. Like the acting part of it is kind of like
Campy,
like
corny.
campy. Yeah, there we go. Those are good words
Even
for
you
it.
said like you were like, oh, the Brazzers wanted you to have that like crazy reaction that was like kind of funny. Like
That's
kind
their
of,
thing, yeah.
but like,
Hmm.
is that pretty normal? Like you think that they'd shoot it more like, I mean, obviously sex is supposed to be an intimate thing. So you'd think people would want it to be more of like, oh, we want this to just like be shot in an intimate way. But like odds are like 80% of porn is not intimate at all. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? That's true. It's not as realistic. You'd think you'd want it to be like a more similar to like an actual an actual encounter that you would have with a woman,
Mhm.
or because for a lot of people it is them imagining themselves in the scenario, so it needs to be like real. They need to be able to put themselves in that scenario. So there are certain companies, and then also like once or twice a year, maybe 3, I feel like they'll do about 3 or so like really big features in porn where companies will set aside a lot of money, book a lot of people and a big cast and a big crew, and they'll shoot for like a week or a week and a half, 2 weeks, which is uncommon, very uncommon. Normally you just go and shoot within one day.
Got it.
So those will be a little bit more serious.
Do they have like a writing staff that like
Yes.
kind of goes into it?
So, MindGeek, if you they will send these really funny scripts because they're owned by a company in Canada, so they're Canadian writers, and like some of these scripts, or my boyfriend, he's shooting for a European website, and so their scripts are just. He's like, what the fuck is this? What does this even mean? What is this saying? Well, because it's like, it's already bad, and then it's translated from like whatever language they speak.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
So it's so fucked.
I was thinking just like the UK, like bloody hell, like this pussy good. Like, that's what I'm thinking.
Oi, mate,
like,
I'm going to bust.
That's too good. Yeah, but like they're just like I was saying, like it seems like the bigger ones are like always just this overzealous, just kind of almost like comedic intro, and then you get into like the actual sex part where I was like, you'd think like there's a lot of great like what are those like romantic novels, and
oh yeah, like
what is that called?
Fanfic?
What's that?
no, he's talking about like the
Like
romance
books,
Erotic
yeah,
novels.
yeah, erotic
Yeah.
novels. Like those are like probably really well written.
Well written, yeah, I get it.
Thank you. Well written, but then like I guess I just then you see like the videos and they're just like it's just this like goofy thing that like pops out. I'm like, why? Like why are the writers not like giving that much effort as like some like the romantic fics?
Yeah, it is
Could be an attention
quite
thing,
ridiculous. But then sometimes the producers and directors will write their own scripts. They'll kind of give them a basis of like, it's a stuck theme. Like they'll give you like a fetish basically, or it'll be a combination of fetishes. So it'll be like, she's stuck in the window or stuck under the end table, or this one's gonna be an incest theme, or sorry, probably making a mess.
No, you're fine. You're good.
And then they'll build a script around that, which I think those probably honestly come out better because those are the people that are doing it day in and day out and on set and actually shooting it. So they're going to write a script that's actually probably a lot easier to execute and makes a lot more sense.
Got
That's
But
makes sense.
I would say, gosh, let me think about that. Well, you know, Vixen and all their websites are very popular right now, and they're a little bit more serious. I feel like they're not as campy and corny, so I'll say there's that. But then, you know, Brazzers, and so Brazzers, you know, Reality Kings, excuse me, that's like that's its own company. Yeah. Then Bang Bros, that's Bang Bros owned by Gamma. It's like MindGeek and Gamma, and they own everything. It's just them too.
Oh, so there's like a not monopoly, but like there's like kind of the same shit in porn too.
Yeah, like basically everything fell apart, and now basically either MindGeek / Pornhub, they own everything, or whatever they didn't buy, Gamma bought, which is like a website like called Adult Time, Pure Taboo, like what's some Gamma websites like I don't know, never mind.
Got it.
No, this is all like super interesting to hear about, and just seeing like the business side of like porn. Like, yes, there's like the video that like we all could go and watch right now, but like how do you get there? You don't just get there. But I think my kind of rolling into that with these two big companies kind of coming in, taking over, probably having a lot of say of where money goes, who and what happens. How do independent artists, independent porn stars kind of have that edge up? And I was thinking maybe that's OnlyFans, maybe that's starting your own channel. Like, how?
That's a question that I have too.
Yeah.
Like, you said that you have an OnlyFans as well, and like, I don't know. Obviously, I don't have all the information, but from the outside looking in, to me, I'm like, why doesn't every like porn star just quit what they're doing and move over to OnlyFans? Because like they control the channels versus like, I mean, obviously I'm getting my information from like various sources that could be not right or right, but it sounds like some girls get like, you know, kind of like skimped on certain like amounts of money for porn shoots when they could probably go to OnlyFans and advertise it to their audience and make way more and kind of have like a monthly recurring thing. So just kind of like, could you break that down for us? Because obviously we know nothing about it. We are just looking from the outside.
I would say I think it's really cool when like an independent porn star or a content creator, whichever label anyone wants to use, I don't know. Because it's I would say it's probably much harder to break through that market independently, because
Interesting.
a lot of models get the upper hand by signing with an agency. And when I left South Dakota and left that initial guy that I signed with an agency. And so that's when I started going out to LA. And so and then agents have all the contact information, so they do all that networking for you. Then you do some scenes for, you know, Brazzers and whatever else and la la la. And then
is that when you were in that model house? Is when you went out to got the agency?
Yes, I stayed. My first agency, I stayed with my agent, and that was fine. It was good. It wasn't bad at all. I liked staying with my first agent, and but then they would have model houses too. Well, then other girls would come and stay too, because I'd stay for a while, and then other girls would be kind of in and out. So it was fun. It was cute. But that basically gives people a lot of edge, and it gets your name out there and gets you a lot of publicity, and that's why I think it's important for if you're already in porn, I think it's important to just do both and not completely quit doing scenes, but just, you know, maybe focus more time on your OnlyFans, because really if you want to make money on OnlyFans, I mean, it's way more work than being a mainstream porn star, just to be honest.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, because you got to like post every day, answer messages, do pay-per-view messages, and then maybe you even have like a free OnlyFans too, which is like a completely separate page. So now you have two OnlyFans, and then if you want to expand into having a clip store, or, you know, your channels on Pornhub and X videos, and you want to put some free clips out there, free previews. I mean, it's like, and
who's making those clips?
Dude,
like, that's gotta be you.
Every day. It's every fucking day. It's So it's actually honestly a lot easier to maybe get the attention of an agent and be like, hey, here's some pictures, my front side, back side, sides, full body, no editing, no filters.
Set me up.
There you go. You know, it's probably easier to get an agent's attention than it would be to start an OnlyFans and then start posting on Instagram and Twitter, and then it's not probably going to take off.
Yeah, and they probably
Crazy.
take care of like all of that almost busy work for you. Whereas on the OnlyFans side, it's like, hey, that's all you got to do that yourself, or find someone to do it, or pay someone. Where
Yeah, like, see, that's what you're paying the agent for. They're the ones that are like doing all the work of making the booking, making the connections, crossing the T's and dotting the I's, and you just answer a few questions and be like, okay, you go this place at this time, and here's your script, and bring this with you, and then you get a paycheck at the end of the day, and you go home. So it's a lot. That's pretty easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's crazy. I didn't really think, and I didn't realize too. I guess I've never really thought about it, but just it sounds exactly how they run, like an actor or a model, like a typical agency runs it, where they like source everything for you, and it's just kind of like, here's a script, go do it. I didn't really realize that that's how it was for porn stars too, but that makes complete sense.
Yeah. Like, they're kind of like, here's a script, go do these auditions, but we don't have auditions. We used to have a thing called go-sees. Go-sees, and usually someone from the agency or your agent themselves would drive you around one day and like take you to go visit in person with some companies, like a bunch of companies, and you take off your clothes and show them what you look like naked, which takes about a total of like 15 to 30 seconds, and then you put your clothes back on. Like, you literally get naked, do a twirl, they're like, okay, and then you put your clothes back on. It's kind of stupid, but
Is it awkward? Like, is it awkward, or is it?
no, I don't know. I never found it to be that awkward.
I feel like if I was doing that for somebody, like,
I don't think they make guys do it. I think it's just girls.
Really?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And most agency photos, like, they don't make you like get hard for agency photos. You can be like flaccid. So like, the guys don't have to.
Guys getting the easy side.
easy
per
side on
usual.
that.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
kind of adds up.
Yes, yeah.
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 You're like, actually, no, they don't need to get paid that much.
No.
So kind of flipping the script here, because this was one thing that I was just like super interested in, because like you've done all different types of porn, but you've also done like stuff that like not very many other people do. Specifically, like, obviously I was like doing research before this, just literally Googling on Pornhub, which is hilarious. That's funny. But I found that you do a lot of transgender porn.
Yeah.
And like that is just not, I think that's something too that's A, getting bigger, and B, is just like, I don't know if taboo is the right word, but it's obviously something that probably is like not as popular, not as talked about, but it's probably getting a lot bigger as we're getting a lot more like socially acceptable and things like that. And like, A, how do you get into that? And B, like, what's your experience with that? Because I know you talked a lot about how like some people aren't doing it for the right reasons.
And honestly, yes, I shouldn't, assume anything about anyone, but I just wonder, I guess, sometimes, because like, well, let me like start from the beginning, I guess. I did, where should I start with this? The adult industry is still very transphobic and biphobic and homophobic specifically. And
what do you mean by that? Like, they just don't shoot as many, or they actually like legitimately are like,
well,
Blackballing.
screw these people, we're not gonna do it.
It's worse for male performers, and it's getting better with time, but like, it's common, it's a possibility at this time in 2022 that if you're a male talent and you publicly begin to shoot porn with a trans woman, you might lose bookings over that, because other women won't want to have sex with you because they think that like you're going to give them like an STD, and then the directors don't want to book them because they can't, it's more difficult for them to find a female talent to work with them. So it's just more work for them on their end. It's not even personal a lot of the time. It's just the fact of like, we want to be able to make this booking as easily and as fast as possible. And if, a bunch of girls just don't want to shoot with you, then they're just not going to book you.
Whoa, wait, that
But
doesn't
don't
even.
you get like you have to like bring in like a test like to the shoot saying like, yeah, I'm clean like every time anyways?
Yeah, so we get tested every 14 days with a full STD panel, like urine and blood and all that. And so that's like pretty much kind of the
So, like, that
argument.
clears it. It's
Pretty
like-
much. I mean, 14 days is, that's pretty much going to cover you, and they're
Yeah.
even talking about going to every 7 days. And if they go to
Yeah.
every 7 days, they're going to need to lower the price of testing because
Yeah.
it's like $155 and for the full panel. And then if you want a COVID throat swab, it's $190.
Whoa,
Mhm.
for every single.
Every 14 days. So then if I had to pay that every
okay.
7 days,
that
that would be
a lot.
insane,
Okay.
So they would have to just lower it or something. So
Surprised like nobody's made a business where they specifically do that for porn stars.
what?
Like started like something where they can provide that for cheaper. Because like I've been,
Oh yeah.
I think every time I've got tested for like STDs and stuff, it was free. Unless there's just an outstanding bill.
Oh, but you probably use your insurance.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I went to like when I was in LA, I went to like AHF or something.
I wonder
and they
if-
do everything for free,
Yeah.
like full.
Huh.
I guess they didn't do COVID testing.
Well,
but
yeah, I know you can go to like the Minnesota Teen Challenge and they'll give you free ones too.
Yeah.
So
It's so they have a place called Talent Testing Service and Cutting Edge Testing, and they started a new one I think too that is working with what we call PASS. Don't ask me what it stands for. I'd have to look it up. But that's who like helps regulate everything and helps
That's
us.
good.
Like
Got
if
it.
someone.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
the reason we I guess pay is because we're paying for the service. I guess of like. All of our results go into one database, and that way the producers and other performers your test is out there
it.
for them to
Yeah.
see, and
Yeah.
it can be verified. And so I
Yeah.
guess that's kind of what you're paying for. And
yeah, that like
that makes sense.
database.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah, it is expensive.
Still
though,
sucks
for
that
sure.
still sucks that it's so expensive.
yeah. Or, the companies could also cover it like by reimbursing at the shoot. That
Yeah.
would be cool if they would reimburse like every
Yeah.
once in a while.
Mhm. Or like insurance or something.
Yeah,
like,
they don't
I
even-
don't. I don't.
I don't know why
That's
they don't
weird they
accept
don't-
insurance. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or like if you like paid with like an HSA, like you're already paying like to put money in there. Like you could pay with that, and at least it's like tax free.
Well, you probably wait. Are you employed technically, or are you self-employed?
I'm self-employed. I'm an
Okay.
independent contractor, and then I get sent like 1099s every year.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So that makes sense. Then you'd probably have to pay for your own medical and stuff
Yes.
too, right?
Yeah, we have to pay for our own insurance typically, and yeah, that's kind of ass.
Yeah.
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 I know. No.
Don't you do that too? You pay
Mhm.
for your.
Well,
yeah.
I'm still on my parents' medical, but
Okay.
I'm starting looking into plans because I'm turning
Yeah.
26 next year and I gotta
Yeah.
get off. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, me too. I've already started looking into it too. I'm like, fuck.
Yep.
I go to the doctor a lot. Well, for obvious reasons too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm always,
Yeah.
Well,
it's
you have
good.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah. I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, and I wanted to
Crazy.
say too, like, so I take something called PrEP, and like when you're HIV negative, that's what you take to prevent from contracting HIV.
Mhm.
So that's
Mhm.
another reason why it's kind of just like stupid that people, because there's the
Yeah.
14-day test, and
Mhm.
anybody who's like, I don't know, any degree of gay probably is like, and a sex worker is probably taking PrEP or should take PrEP. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, but I understand if someone doesn't want to take it because it can be very hard on the body, and there's also not a lot of long-term research about it. And it's hard on the kidneys, and
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't
so
know
I
that.
get blood work done like every 3 to 6 months to just check my kidneys and everything, make sure I'm all good. So yeah,
That's crazy that
it's
there's like
stupid.
so much medical stuff behind like the porn industry.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
they have
know,
to.
and people just
It's good.
assume the worst. It seems like, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know what, you guys are no.
Yeah. It sounds like they care a lot more about like your personal health than like like where I work.
Yeah. Or even just
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
Like,
They.
we have friends who like have never gotten tested before
Ew.
and had
Mhm.
Their
a
whole
lot of
lives?
partners, and it's like, yeah.
What?
oh, yeah.
How
Yeah.
old are they?
Like our
Oh
age.
my god,
Yeah.
they're 25 and
mid-20s. Yeah.
Yeah.
they've
Yeah.
never.
They just like
What if
refuse
they
to go
had a
get
chlamydia this whole time and it was asymptomatic and they're probably
Yeah.
infertile?
No,
Yeah.
Oh my
seriously. Yeah.
god.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I'm
Like,
thinking of this person's future.
tested.
get
For God's
fucking
sakes,
tested.
get tested. My lord, please.
It's crazy. But just like swinging it back to like experience with transgender
Oh yeah,
porn. So
sorry.
no, you're fine.
No, that's the definition of this podcast.
Yes.
If you listen to any episodes, we like start here and we end like on the other side of the world.
Exactly. We're all over the place. I just think it's so interesting and like that's so crazy. Like that's a part where like I don't want to say like not everybody wants to like make sure transgender people have like the same rights, but it's like nobody's thinking about the porn industry. Like nobody's thinking like in there, are they being discriminated against? And it's like you're in a position to bring awareness to it and almost like I guess like change people's minds on that.
Okay, yeah. So, and I was kind of talking with you about that a little bit before. So now that I kind of gave a little bit more context to the situation,
Yeah.
because I was like, okay, if I just start talking about this without giving any context for regular people who don't know, there's not going to make any fucking sense. So that's kind of the general attitude. And as time has gone on, it's become like way less transphobic, way less biphobic, and whatever. So what I was saying to you is I feel like some like straight performers, I suppose, honestly, specifically like female performers, cis female performers, I feel like, because there's a lot of girls that I see that only shoot trans porn when it's a paid gig. I've never seen them, or like once a year, and it's like, I don't know, for their own website, OnlyFans, still like once and I just I don't know. Yeah, I just think it's like, and like I said, I don't want to assume anything about anyone, but I just think that they do it like, what's the best way to put this? And it's kind of a nice way, but it's not nice. But I'm trying to be nice, okay, about it. But yeah, I just feel like they just do it because that's what you're supposed to do, and they don't want anyone to judge them. Like, oh, are you transphobic? Are you biphobic? Why haven't you worked with any like bisexual male performers? Why haven't you, And I also think that, what do I want to say? I think
I'm just thinking about it.
Person feels special, like a cis person. I feel like how does that? It's kind of like when you have a black friend and you're like, I'm not racist, I have a black friend.
Yeah. Like it makes them like feel
good,
feel better
about
like
themselves. Like they're doing it to feel better about themselves. Like I'm woke, I'm cool, I'm okay with this. I'll have sex with, but they're not really doing it because like I'm sexually attracted to this person.
Yeah.
And I just think that if you should do it, if you're sexually attracted to trans women, not do it because it makes you feel good, because it makes you feel like a good person or something. Like, oh, just, I don't know if it's really always for the best reasons. It's like selfish reasons, kind of. Does that make sense? Maybe.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Savior complex. Thank you.
Boom.
Thank you. See, I knew you'd be helpful. Thank you.
We got Rebecca's friend Teresa off mic. She's holding it down.
Yes.
I don't know if they can see you, but
it's okay.
She's there.
She's beautiful. Trust me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's insane. I don't know. Like I when Zemi and I were like, oh, like Rebecca's coming here to shoot the podcast, we really love this side. Like, yeah, there's a ton of topics on here. Like, you want to talk about like
we got to dive into
like,
a few of those.
Oh, absolutely. Like, we have to talk about anal, like women not understanding it, and like dudes like it's their butt clitoris or whatever, because like that's funny. But I think Zemi and I were like, we want to hear the back end. Like, we want to hear all those like nitty gritty details that like most people are just. Not only do they just like not think about researching them, but like they're just, where is this information?
Yeah.
Other than from just like somebody who's experiencing it firsthand.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess to follow up with that, and I will say I'm very happy to see that more companies are actually starting trans websites and also bisexual websites where basically they'll take usually 2 gay porn stars or 2 bisexual porn stars and then put them with a girl, and then the guys fuck each other and then they both fuck the girl, and that's the bisexual part of the threesome, is that the guys are both fucking each other and they're both fucking the girl. So and they've been that's been becoming really, really popular.
Mm-hmm.
And so as that becomes more popular, I think these things aren't going to be as much of a problem. And like, honestly, every month, every year, there's a new male talent who's now shooting with trans girls. And I'm just like, fuck yeah. I'm like, get over here. Give me some of that dick. I instantly, dude, seriously, if you're a male performer and you shoot with like trans women or
hit Rebecca up.
yeah, I fucks with you. I probably will just work
Stay
with
tuned
you
later. We'll give you her full details to
Yeah,
write
hit me up
down.
on OnlyFans.
Yep, yeah.
or Instagram.
No, that's
yeah.
cool. That's really cool.
I kind of lost my train of thought, but yeah.
No, you're
whatever.
fine. I didn't even really pose a question
Yeah.
though, but I love
Yeah.
that. Like I love hearing that side of it. I like that we're kind of I feel like we're hopping back and forth, like background, like really nitty gritty, like background. Let's talk about the anal stuff because I know when you texted me,
Let's
seemed like
talk
you
about
were
anal.
super passionate, especially so you've done a double anal.
Yes.
Which is insane. And part of what you wanted to talk about was like women not really understanding anal and like hurting themselves. So like, first off, tell us about your double anal and then talk about that. Like how, if you're a woman who wants to explore that, like how do you go about doing that?
Step 1.
Wow. You know, and what I realized too with double anal, it's actually a really, really special thing. And it's really actually hard to physically pull it off. And then shooting it well is like another feat that's actually like insane because I went to Prague and I did my first double anal for legal porno and that's like what they do. Like, and it was like a streamlined thing and it was like awesome, you know? And I did a double anal for kink here in America and it was still awesome and I love kink. I've got to shoot for them a lot of times. I was so grateful for that. I got to shoot for them a lot of times. And it was definitely not as easy because obviously these male talents here in America aren't fucking shooting double anal. The most they'll do is a double penetration, which is like one in the vagina, one in the ass.
Yeah.
And then maybe, or an airtight, which is like also one in the mouth, like, you know.
Yeah.
So, but double anal is not a thing. The only reason they shot it is because I offer it. And then also what's funny too, and then they paid me so much more. They paid me actually the same amount, I think, pretty much that I got paid for my first double anal in Prague. So I want to say, yeah, so I shot with Giorgio Grandi's studio in Prague for legal porno, and I worked with a bunch of different male talents, and honestly, it was great. So I did an anal scene, then I did 3 DPs, and then I did my last scene was the double anal, and there was a day off in between. Well, I shot a vag scene like in between one of those days, but it was VR, but that was just vag, or it wasn't a big deal.
VR, that's I have so many questions. You just said VR, I was like, oh my god, I totally
VR. Don't even.
We gotta keep going. No,
Yeah,
we're gonna keep
going.
I hate
Guys,
VR.
Keep rolling.
Focus
This is
on the
great. This is awesome.
We gotta focus on the tunnel.
And so yeah, by the time I got to the end of my trip and doing all these DPs and anal, like honestly, double anal was not that hard. It was. I mean, I was pretty properly stretched out, and I didn't have any tearing. There was no bleeding. There was no pain during or after. A little bit of blood can be normal, like if you have a hemorrhoid of some kind, internal or external. So that's not necessarily like that's kind of normal for me to just bleed a little bit. But obviously, if you're like bleeding a lot or there's pain or discomfort, you should totally stop.
I can totally see 2 male talents just being like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely
'cause
not.
the dicks,
Yeah.
Rubbing
like,
dicks
the dicks-
inside
yeah,
of
rubbing
someone?
dicks. Yeah, no.
That's
It's like you're rubbing dicks, but you're also inside of like
right.
someone.
It's
So like, does it cancel it out? Like, are you guys good? But no, I could totally see.
personally, I don't know. I think it's hot and I think it's fun and I think that a lot of guys overthink it, but at the same time, and then yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable if you're not like bi, and then also it's really tight in there usually, unless some girls
gonna say,
are
I was
gapers. Some girls, I swear to God, that like literally they'll just bend over and doggy and pull their hands back and spread open, and then their asshole like looks like this. I'm not fucking kidding you. And I was like, why doesn't my asshole do that? It won't do it. I'm like, fuck.
You just weren't born for it.
I guess no, I wasn't born to gape.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't think my asshole does that either.
Thanks. Teresa, does yours?
So you
Working
can
on
practice. You can practice.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
So okay, so I'll tell you my only like kind of anal story. I was like kind of seeing this girl who liked it when I put my thumb in her butt, and one time I did that, and she was just like, you know what, like try to put it in my ass, and I'm like giddy. I'm like, I've never done this before. I was like, all right, cool, no lube, nothing, right?
Okay.
I start like just like trying to put the tip
Jesus.
like Teresa's like no. I like start trying to put the tip in, and I will never forget this. Her just going like, nope, get it out, get it out, just so fast. So for me, because I've never had that experience, I don't know about. I can't really speak. Do you have a first anal experience?
I don't think I've never tried anal before.
Yeah. Okay. So for
No.
both of us, for us anal virgins, like what do you do? Like if the girl rolls up and she doesn't know what she's doing either. Like, how do you prep? What's like the best way to do it?
You know, and what's funny too is that even girls that might be experienced with anal, you can still have a very similar experience, because there's even to this day I'll sometimes have that just it's the wrong angle, wrong position, and I'll be like, okay, no, take it out, and then I'll like do a different position, be like, okay, put it back in, and I'll be like, okay, now it's fine. So so that's not always like a beginner thing either. Anal is just like,
It's tricky.
yeah, and it's not always going to be the same. Unless some girls, I don't know, some girls are real anal queens for sure. Wow. Okay, so well, first off, before I tell any stories, for the love of God, just always use lube. Any kind, preferably silicone, because water-based lube is going to dry up, and then you're going to have to keep reapplying it. And once the penis is in the butt, you don't really want to keep pulling it in and out. You kind of want to just leave it in there and kind of just, you know. But cleaning out isn't always necessary. Okay. Honestly, it's not. If you're not a squeamish person, it's not always necessary. And if she has a really healthy diet and eats a lot of vegetables and like meat and stuff, like she probably has, it's probably not dirty, or whoever it is, right? So
Totally.
I'd say if she's like if it's your first time, I would recommend taking a disposable enema that you can get at any pharmacy, emptying out the saline. For the love of fucking God, do not put the saline up your ass. You'll have diarrhea for hours. It is a laxative.
Wait, hold on. Can you explain this? What is the enema? What is that?
So
I have zero clue. Do you know what that is?
No.
Zero clue.
When you go to if you're like super duper constipated, you can go to the store and get a laxative enema, and it's like a little bulb. I wish I had one to show you. I had a bulb, and it's filled with saline, and the saline is like salty water, and I guess that makes you have diarrhea or something, so it makes you poop. So it's a laxative. Yeah. But if you're having anal sex, you take and then it has like a little skinny like thing on it. It's different from a douche, but it's like the same thing. You know what a douche looks like for a vagina.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
Like the same concept, but the top is different, and it's more suitable for a butthole than a vagina.
Got it.
And so take out the saline for God's sakes, and use warm water. You don't need to put anything else in there. Don't put soap. Don't. And honestly, that's probably going to make you feel a lot better about your first experience, because I think that the fear of getting poop on someone is so huge that it doesn't happen. It's too great, you know? And so I think, because really it's a mental thing. You need to be totally relaxed, and you need to totally want it. If there's a part of you that is like, or I'm just doing this because he wants to, or whatever, right? Just, there's no point, because it's so mental. I feel like as long as you want it, you will succeed. You will finish the scene. You will have anal sex, and your partner will finish, if you want it. It's almost completely mental, truly.
It's a mental game.
This is like
mental game.
This is like a life pep talk.
I know.
If you want it, you will do it.
And you're like, it is, though. First time before anal, I'm going to call Rebecca and just be like, Rebecca, it's about to happen. She's just going to pep talk, be like, you got this. You got to want it. You got to really, really want it.
How bad do you fucking want it? I want it. I want it.
And see, the guy, okay, I was talking about the girl, but no.
Oh, yeah. All right. Hey, my girl's right here.
Here you go, yeah.
Just Rebecca like screaming out like,
You're just sitting there. You hear Rebecca just laying into you, like,
do you want it? Do you want it? She's like giving like what's that one like speech? It's like life's a game of inches. Like she's giving like a life's a game of inches speech about anal. You gotta take every inch.
Yeah, and because but it's important for the guy to really want it too. Because if the guy's iffy on it, he's not gonna be fully hard. And if you're not fully hard, there's no way you're getting in there, bro.
That makes sense.
And
makes
then
sense.
if you're soft, kind of like got a half chub going, and you're trying to shove it in, and then it goes
pushing rope.
It goes. Yeah, exactly. And that's weird in general. But then it'll if it pops in, then it like just kind of goes in all at once, and you're just like, I've had that happen before, and I'm just like, and it hurts so fucking bad. I immediately got up and I was like, yeah, we're done. This is over. I don't care if I don't get any money at all. I'm not doing this at all. It was bad. It felt so horrible. But I was fine. Again, no tearing or anything, luckily. But that's totally how you can get a tear or like something bad happen to you.
Or just like night over, like done. You're good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was not good. So yeah, it is a mental game for both parties.
I'm gonna say it wrong. Enema.
Enema. So it's
enema.
ENEMA. Enema.
Okay.
Somebody's like texting that to his girlfriend right now. Like, hey, yo,
pick up enemas.
Pick up. Yeah. Add this to the grocery
laxative
list.
aisle.
Next
to the Dulcolax.
Just dump out the saline.
Yeah. Okay. Don't put the saline inside.
So I feel like, so this will weave into the next part of this. Is it like, does anal, I mean, I feel like I've gotten mixed reviews, but I guess for you is the specific question. Does anal like feel good for you? Like, and I know you'll talk about this a little later, but like dudes have a G-spot in their ass. Like, is it the same for girls or is it just dudes?
Yeah, so the male G-spot, I call it, that's a common term for it anyways. I didn't invent that. But it's the prostate. You guys know what a prostate is, right?
Yep.
So no, girls, but what I think is what it happens. So have you seen like a picture of like the full clitoris? And it's like this, and there's like these glands, and then there's these other. There's just these things coming down. So I think what's happening is when a girl is being fucked in the butt, you're rubbing up on the clitoris from the backside.
Okay.
You're just you're stimulating a different part of the clitoris.
Interesting.
Which is why sometimes it's really easy for girls to squirt when they do anal,
and
because you're pressing up on your bladder from the back, and it just
And you're talking about angles too.
Yes.
Like if you're at the wrong angle, you're not hitting
your colon. Everybody's colon or butthole or whatever goes in its own direction. It goes and. Like for me,
has an imperfection.
Like mine could go left and his could go right.
Yeah, or like up or down. And so the shape of the toy or penis is like dependent on,
which is also always different.
Yeah, so you gotta. So sometimes it's like you're gonna want to usually warm up with your male talent, your partner, scene partner, off camera, usually to figure out which positions feel best, and then plus it's always usually best to warm up off camera or they do a thing called sex stills where they take pictures of the sex before you start the full scene. And that's another good way to warm up because then you just like warm up, stop, picture, snap, next position. But like for me, gosh, I'm not exactly sure what direction my colon goes, but like if a guy like curves up, missionary is definitely not ideal. It better to stretch me out in doggy. And then once I'm like been having sex, then it really doesn't matter which position. But yeah, and some guys, they bend down and this way and that way. So just because it doesn't work in missionary, it doesn't work in doggy, doesn't mean you should try a few positions before you give up.
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating.
Hell yeah.
This is so crazy.
Yes. I want to say, okay, so girls, anal, first time, get on top. Get on top,
okay.
100%. That's
I
be the best
think that's
way.
Smart. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then you're in control of what's happening and you're going at your own pace, but also
that's true, yeah.
I just think when you're on top in cowgirl or reverse, it's like something about it is just like opens you up. And it's just so much. I just noticed that when I'm on set, it's the best way to like stretch out is like I just get on top and I'm like, oh wow, look at me. I'm an anal
king
pro.
Of the world. The king of the world.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably too like I feel like when dudes are like fucking, it's just like in and out. Like that's a majority of like the motion versus like when
it's
a girl's
like if I go
riding,
in and out and I go really hard, like she has to like it. There's no like
Exactly.
It's like that dumb like
but like
it's like there's no other. That's it.
Every
like,
girl I've been with when they are riding, they're doing like a back and forth, like this way rather than up and down. And
like
I think Yeah, I could see how that would stretch it out more too with like the reverse cowgirl. Yeah, yeah. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, maybe
interesting. I'm taking notes.
Depends. I see some notepads down here.
We're just like students.
Hey, can you repeat that one?
This is the sex education we should have got.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like, and that's kind of a taboo subject too, because I see both sides of the argument, but I'm a strong believer that like porn is porn and it's entertainment and it's not educational, and that's on you if you fucking take that shit too far.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But at the same time, in a perfect world, it would be great if there was more discussion, because gosh, what was I watching? Euphoria and some other shit, and they kind of pointed that out. They're like, if you go to the top popular scenes on Pornhub and whatever, like that's what's common is this slapping and the pounding, and that's like normal sex in porn. And it's like, I sometimes like it, but for the most part, I am totally 100% not getting pounded out like for like that in my real life. No, like literally the guy like lays on me like a blanket, and I would just like lay there like, and then he hung up. Oh fuck! No, really, that's how I like to have sex. And we just lay there on top of each other and hump. It's great. It sounds not great, but it's awesome.
That sounds like less work.
Oh,
like sometimes I'm seeing like some of the positions, and I'm like, I never want to try that. I never. That looks
pile
so
driver. The girl's like upside down on the ground, and they're like squatting into it. Like,
yes, dude. I'm like, that looks. Or honestly, I've never. Okay, actually, I've done it once, but like, I haven't had very much sex like standing up, like with like where you pick up the girl and you're like. Just roll. I'm like, dude, that is the fastest way for me to probably lose an erection right there. It's just like me having to fucking bicep curl this girl on my dick. Like, no. For real. No. Absolutely not. So I have to applaud the dudes that are doing that shit, because that's you, homie. That's you. You is that you? Hey, let's go! Yo! I think that's the first time he's like really talked about his sex life.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't even say anything.
Nice and subtle, man. You just gotta keep it nice and subtle. I can't give all the secrets. But I want to be. I'm part of it. But
you got a girl, so you don't want to be putting yourself out there like that. That's just for her,
Yeah.
For her.
Yeah, they have a very like healthy like communication style. No, we love his girlfriend. His girlfriend's awesome.
She's pretty tight.
She is tight. She is tight.
That.
Cool. Well, okay, so this is bouncing back to like a new question, and this is probably like my number one question that I wanted to ask you is like, is the porn industry your end game? Like, is this something you want to do until like
what's next?
You make enough money to have in your retirement account and you can kind of like go and retire, or is it like, do you want, like, I know a lot of porn stars like kind of usually have like acting aspirations, or some of them a lot of the times like use their brand to become like a content creator, like who's doing it right now, like Lana Rhoades kind of did that, I feel like, but, like other, as well as other ones, like you'll see YouTubers like shooting with porn stars and then they start making their own like YouTube
that one
content.
Trevor guy you were talking about earlier, he did some stuff with like Emily Willis and some other gals, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I mean, it wasn't very good, but I was like, that's cool though that you're like trying. I feel like he just wanted to like hang out with porn stars, so he's like, I'm gonna write a skit around this, so that, because Emily Willis is my favorite porn star, straight up. And I'm like, so I'm calling you out, Trevor. I'm saying that Emily Willis is your favorite porn star, and you made that video just so you could hang out with her.
Go through his searches. Go through the search.
I know.
Who's he looking up?
Like, I don't. Yeah, sorry.
Wait, you're talking about Trevor Wallace?
Yeah, that blonde-haired guy. And he's like, and he does the thing where he'd be like, I don't know, and he makes all those stupid skit videos. They're good though. I don't mean stupid in a bad way. Really good. Stupid in a good way. They're hilarious.
You're talking about Trevor Wallace.
Yeah.
He's great at that. We've talked about this on here about. I think he's great in that niche, but I've seen his stand up, and I'm like, it just doesn't hit the same.
I think his stand up's so
which
good.
is funny because that's what. Yeah, you were saying that you loved it.
Okay.
During my stint in LA, one of our creators, Mitzi, who was in the content house I was working in, she did videos with Churdleys, who like Churdley shoots with Trevor all the time. And I was always like, I'm just waiting. Like one day we'll walk in the house, like Trevor Wallace can be like, sup? Like we're gonna dab up, we're gonna become best friends, ride out in the sunset. Never got to meet him. I was so sad. But we actually did have like one of our clips went like semi-viral on Instagram, and someone's like, you guys gotta do a collab with Stiff Socks, which is Trevor's podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that is like my dream. Like if we ever got to sit down and do a podcast with them, like, it would be the most degenerate shit.
Yeah, and then he had Angela White on the podcast, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool.
They've had a couple of porn stars. I think honestly too, like I think Mike Malak really paved the way for like you get a porn star on your channel, like that's like an easy way to organic click. So I've always kind of looked at that as well as like some people just use it as like a, oh shit, I need to, like views are down, like need a really good video that people are going to click on, mostly male audience. Oh, I'll just get like my porn star friend. Like that's kind of what I've seen.
Honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing though, because unfortunately, like a lot of adult actresses don't even really get that opportunity. So,
True.
It's like a win-win.
Yeah, so it's a win-win. You know, you're not doing anything wrong by hiring just for the clicks. You know, because I guess that's our job is to be hired to like have sex and be hot and shit. So you're just doing what everyone else is doing hiring us for. And like I like, so, and I really love the opportunity that Chloe Cherry had with Euphoria, and now she just like really took it there, and I'm just
Wait,
like,
who's Chloe Cherry?
Get out.
She Euphoria? No.
Get the fuck out.
Okay,
I'm
but
not
like,
gonna lie
but
to you,
tell me,
I don't
no,
know.
but is she?
I'm
No,
leaving.
done. But is she on the show?
Yeah, she's on Euphoria.
Which one? Well, who is she? That's what I'm saying.
The heroin addict girl that's dating the big lips, blonde hair, tiny tits, super skinny.
Do you know her name?
Oh,
Melissa?
yeah.
Chloe Cherry. Oh,
yeah,
what's
she's
her-
in the third season. I
Second
don't know
season.
the show.
No, she's in the second season. What's her name in the show? Faye. She's
Yeah.
She's
Fez like kind of helps her
And
out
she
for
lives
sex.
with
I know
Fez.
exactly
Yeah,
who that
yeah,
is. Yes. I didn't know she was a porn star.
Yes.
I've only seen like
Oh.
one episode of Euphoria on an extremely terrible date, and I was. Oh no, actually, I've seen another episode.
Oh, at our place.
Yeah,
We got him the first episode. One of the second episode that he's ever watched.
No, this was the first one.
The first episode he ever watched was the musical scene where they do like the musical. So funny.
without
and start-
context though.
But yeah, no context.
No context. I was high as balls. I was like I'm watching this like dead ass, like almost having like a panic attack because of how like I'm like, what is happening? Like, am I
So
am
good.
I tracking this right, or is it like? And then Zemi like said he's like, yo, sorry, this is a weird episode for you to be like your first Euphoria episode. I was
But
like,
that was
dude.
that episode was amazing.
What? No,
Yeah.
it was really well filmed, but I
You're
think
just like-
the fact
you're
of like
I have no idea.
I have zero clue what's happening.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, one moment they're like regular adults. Oh, by the way, now they're children. Like I was like, what is happening? Who is who?
And then
Why are they
they're
talking?
in the
like-
locker room, and then they're in the.
That's the locker room scene is so funny.
and then all of a sudden that girl like walks up stage and like slaps the shit out of someone. I was like, what is
Yeah, because
happening?
that's her.
here?
So that's
Yep.
was her sister. So she's like, why? And she was talking about the girl that slapped
Yep.
her. So she's like,
Girl made a play like all about like shitting on her sister. That's
Funny.
well, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It was more, but yeah. I mean,
There's
it was
more,
kind
but
of
main theme of like fuck you.
Yeah. So
That shows like
yeah.
I think the way I describe Euphoria is like after watching like a few episodes, like I think Callum, my roommate, said it the best. It's like you want to go like make your bed. You're like it's just like so like stressful. Like every episode ends on this like high like stress moment. You're like, holy shit! Like what's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
And you just like you feel that. And you're like, I'm just gonna do something normal as fuck, like do the dishes or something. Like my life is not like that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think a lot of people do feel that way though.
It's just like
Yeah.
holy fuck! Like you have to like decelerate, like come back down off it. Like once you're done, I love it. I binged
Dude.
like when they come out. It's like when they come out, I binge every single one. They're so good.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
You know, we never answered the original. So Chloe Cherry, she was able to take into acting. Like, where do you want to go? Like, what do you want? And do you want to stay in the industry forever? Would you like to pull a Chloe Cherry, or do you like a perfectly normal answer as well as like, I don't know, I'm just like chilling.
Yeah. No, I have thought about it, and I'm like, actually, I do see myself probably continuing to make porn for a long time, maybe like off and on, but I also do have like other aspirations, and I'm really, I'm just like really happy to see what happened with Chloe, because it really paves the way for girls like me and everyone else, for us to kind of make that leap from porn to fashion and runway, because there is a lot of very petite girls in the industry, and they aren't necessarily they don't have that BBL body. They're not they're the opposite. So that's perfect for like high fashion and runway and editorial work and everything. And so but then also you can do the Lana Rhoades thing, get the BBL, get the tits, get the lips, and then now she's like mega famous on Instagram, and she can just keep working that and changing it
Yeah.
and do whatever she wants.
Mhm.
Do you like it, or is your aspirations, because you mentioned them, is it like to be a model? Do you like do you have anything in mind? Like, okay, if like gun to head, like you could like I don't know. Seriously.
Hey,
Like,
Kill me,
yeah.
bro. I don't
Yeah.
know. Just fucking kill me.
Whoa, you're telling us to make a decision? Ain't no way.
Yeah, ain't no way.
Decide something or die. I'm gonna
Just
die.
like, yo, like gun to head, like you have to tell me what you would want to do for the rest of your life. What is it?
You know,
He did say, I don't know. It's a perfect
I
answer,
will.
so.
That's perfectly fine.
I do
Yeah.
though. I do have other things. I know that I'm like just good at creating things, and I like doing stuff
Okay.
with my hands, and so I like, you know, and it's quite popular now to customize clothes and things like that. But it's kind of more so of an interest that I like have just for myself, for the wear clothes to wear them, not to sell them per se, but maybe that could lead to something else, and then it gives you an idea. I've had a lot of different ventures. You know, I tried a
Makeup maybe too. I feel like I saw you like really getting in on your makeup.
Oh,
That's definitely.
see,
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
It looks great.
thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with that too. So I'm like, okay, maybe I could I don't know, maybe I could do makeup. Maybe I could do a lot
Yeah,
of things. And then
creating.
I also gosh, I just love modifications, but like not just tattoos though and piercings, but like extreme modifications like tongue splitting, implants like under your skin, not like breast implants, but like silicone implants you'll put like maybe under your hand or in your chest. You know,
This is
eyeball
so-
tattoos and all that. So maybe I could see myself maybe being trained under someone, you know, like Luna Cobra. Shout out Luna Cobra. He was the inventor of the eyeball tattoo. I think his Instagram is at Luna Cobra.
Insane.
Yeah.
That is insane.
It's so if I ever did it, I would definitely go to him because he's the inventor. Because you could totally go blind. 100%, you could totally go blind.
Yeah, you fuck up and you're like, yeah, you can't see.
Just fuck it, you know? You might even have to have your whole eye removed. For sure. Like, it's really bad if you go too deep, you know? So,
Wow.
I could see myself doing that, like getting trained by him maybe. I think he offers that as like courses, or I'm sure if I paid him enough fucking money, he'd be like, all right, I'll show you how to do stuff.
Like a tattoo has like a lot of apprenticeships, right?
Exactly. Something like
Got
that.
it.
So I can see myself doing that. And because he also travels a lot and travels all over and does these like cool procedures. And yeah, he does tongue splitting and implants and tattoos and piercings. He does everything.
It's
So,
funny
yeah.
it's funny you brought up body mods, because like the like not theme, but like something we talked about was like, oh, do people get like body mods on their dick? Like, can you
Yes.
get like a ribbed dick?
Yes.
Yeah, like rib
Crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you. Someone finally answered this.
Yes.
Like,
Have you
We're like Google searching, like, yeah, I don't know. If this is,
Have
like,
you-
maybe
have you guys heard of purling?
no, should we
Shut
look it up? That was-
Teresa, you freak, you kinky freak. She's like, oh fuck yeah.
No, we haven't.
no.
Guy
So
with it? Have you fuck? What? Did you fucking?
did you fuck? Yo, Teresa fucks.
Dude, yo, for real? She
Wait. Yo, can you
fucks.
bring this up? Can I give you my mic and you just like speak?
Yeah,
into
yeah.
it? What are you saying? Wait, what are you saying?
Say-
The people want to know.
So like, it was interesting because he. Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
really
It was
close.
interesting because he's a tattoo artist and a piercer. He's a tattoo artist and a piercer, and so you know we were like doing the whole thing, and he takes out his cock, and I was just like, what is this circular thing like at the top of it? He's just like, oh, it's a pearl. I'm like, a pearl? He's like, you'll find out. And
You'll find out.
You'll find out because
That is
once he
so
put it in,
gangster.
and he took out his dick piercing first because it like wasn't really fitting inside of me, and then but it was interesting because the pearl was actually hitting like my
Yeah.
G spot in a way that like I had never like been hit like that before with like a
Yeah.
dick. So and then he put back his
Cheat
piercing,
code.
and it was just like fucking phenomenal. It was wild. It was wild.
Invest.
Yeah.
Man.
So
that
fuck
me?
you, dude.
So the question is, can we write this off and get this?
Oh my God. Sorry, we'll do anything if you can write it off.
Yeah,
somehow.
basically. If technically, if we started an OnlyFans and I showed it on the OnlyFans,
You
is
could
it a
write
write
it off. Yeah. 100%.
Bro,
Mm.
Purling it up.
Pearling it. Okay, so that's so. Okay, so can you explain what it is then? Because like, so we like asked this question, and then people in our comments were telling us to look up. We looked up. Oh shit! I deleted
Sir,
them.
wasn't it like a?
It was-
Hamilton. No, I'm
Prince Albert's piercing.
Yeah, Prince Albert. Yeah.
One of them was Jacob's ladder, and then the two that we were gonna look up were purling and genital beating.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Two
Okay.
words for the same thing. Maybe she might know more, but my understanding It's just like a little metal ball. It's like stainless steel or surgical steel, right? It's the same thing almost as like the implants that they'll do, like the horns on the forehead, but they just make a really shallow incision and it just sits right under the skin. So it's actually not even like a super major procedure, but apparently the ladies love it. I've had a guy go down on me and kiss a guy with a split tongue, and I've kissed a girl with a split tongue, but I needed more experience with the girl because I think she was better. I just think the guy wasn't a good kisser, and it was not, the split tongue was not, it actually, having sex with this guy made me not want to split my tongue anymore. It was something I wanted to do for years. And after that, I was like, nope. Because I feel like I eat pussy really good. And if I split my tongue.
Yeah.
Because
fair. Because it's like
you're on the
two
sides
different
of
muscles,
the pussy,
right?
which is fine too. Sometimes I like that. But I need the tip of the tongue on the clit. You can't just dance around it the whole time. You got to like.
Yeah. And if it ain't broke, why,
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, why fix it?
But then I'm like, okay, maybe I'm
Wait.
just not having a good enough experience with someone with a split tongue. So maybe I just need to be with someone who's really sexually experienced with their split tongue, and I'll like it. But yeah, fuck you, man. She gets to have all the fun, dude, and I'm the fucking porn
That's
star.
crazy,
Fuck you.
bro.
I've never even had an off-camera three-way, and she has like random fucking three-ways with like hot foreign dudes, or like, what was they, French or something?
Oh no, they were from like Crash Ice. They were athletes from Germany and Poland.
Oh my god, fuck you.
Hell yeah.
Teresa, you seem fun as fuck. We
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to be friends.
Yeah.
We need.
Yeah.
I told you.
You're gonna take us to some like insane fucking like club and be like,
Yes.
Hell yeah, the one she works at.
Go.
Yeah. You can go say hi.
Crazy.
Yeah, titty bar. Wait, so it's only topless there? They don't
It's
do
not
full nude?
No. Well, unless you're in the rooms.
Oh, okay. Oh, hey, anything
Got
goes
it.
in
Not
the
like-
rooms, all right?
Yeah.
Got it. Crazy. Oh my god, this has been like such a
great.
fun podcast. Like,
Good, I'm glad you're happy.
like,
I hope you're both
seriously,
having fun.
No, this is great. I mean, honestly, when you're just pinballing back and forth off like each other, sometimes it kind of just
It helps.
gotta hit a wall. It's nice to have like someone, honestly, just here that we can talk to, bounce ideas off, do the whole thing with, but as well as someone who is, I don't know half the stuff that you do.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's always, I love, like, a lot of my friends, different opinions, different walks of life, different backgrounds, and I think you need to, you can't be surrounded by a bunch of yes men,
No.
So
Exactly.
this is great for your podcast. The contrast is great. And, I'm glad that it worked. I'm glad that this happened like in person.
Awesome.
I wasn't sure,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know if I can pull this off.
Oh, I mean, I literally, I've talked to Zemi. Like, we tried to do the Zoom podcast, and it wasn't.
Oh my
it.
god, it was a
And-
dud.
It's not the
Holy
move. I don't
shit.
like it either. It
Yeah,
just doesn't hit
It's
the
such
same.
a dud.
Like, it's this, like, you can kind of like feel the vibes and like play off of each other. But when it's like that, like, oh, like, what did you say? You kind of cut out there, like,
Sorry,
oh,
I
a little bit of a
over your-
delay. Like,
Yeah.
you say something, and then like I start saying something, you don't hear it until like 2 seconds later. It throws off the entire podcast. And like the other podcasts I produce, they do Zoom podcasts, and I'm like, that's great, and like I'll be here to produce those. But like me personally, I want to avoid them at all costs unless it's just like somebody absolutely insane that we could not get here. Like shoot it, because I just think it diminishes the quality a little bit.
Yeah.
But this is awesome. Thank you for driving up.
Yeah,
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
So much. Do you guys have to go? At
What
any
time
certain
is it? By the way, I was going to ask you that.
It's 7:53.
So we have been. When did we start though?
We're probably like we're about an hour, probably 15 in at this point.
Really?
Yeah, we've been
Yeah,
going.
we've
Well,
been
I guess
going.
This is great.
I guess because we were here, and so it's 7:53.
Yeah.
That's fine. So it's about 3.5 hours. It's not that far to get back.
Okay.
So
Okay. We can wrap up soon. I have 2 more questions that I'd love to
yeah,
ask.
that would probably take us honestly to the 2-hour mark, if not like really close to it. Because I know you wanted to aim
Perfect.
for that, and I felt I planned to do a 2-hour podcast, so we could keep
Yeah,
going
cool.
for a bit longer. Yes.
I mean, we don't have to. I mean, I know Zemi probably
yeah, you know
has to
what?
get home
I'm
soon.
kind of
So
over this actually.
you're like, yo, fuck you guys. You guys suck. This podcast sucks. I'm out.
Yeah, this is just for my career. I'm out.
What is that like weatherman video? It's like, fuck you, fuck the
you,
weather, I'm out. Same shit here. So, okay, I have to ask. This is for Zemi and I. We gotta know. As the porn star, you're the most qualified to answer this question. Does size matter? I'm already not liking this.
No, stop.
Stop. She has to think we're fucked.
No. Here's the thing. For very long, I was like, No. Then I was seeing a guy, like, and his penis was very large, and there was a couple of guys like that actually, and the second guy, and he was like really big, and I was like, okay, this feels good. This feels good, but then I'm like, I get really sore. Over time. It's just too much. Now, everybody is kind of built different, so I do think that different vaginas and different girls are more built for. So when a girl is a size queen, I genuinely believe it's because that's just the shape of her vagina. That's just what feels best. I don't know, and I'm not even saying that like, oh, if a girl's a size queen, she has like a loose vagina and that's the only reason she needs a big dick. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that like some vaginas are meant to can accommodate that, and most are not though. Are meant to accommodate that. And so then I was like, fuck. And then we got into a fight and I was like, fuck you. I'm super mad at you. Not talking to you anymore. And I was like, okay, stop
Fuck
fucking.
you and your big dumb
Fuck
dick.
you and your big stupid dick. Fuck you. And he's like such a himbo too, so it's really funny. That's super accurate, actually. But in the best way. He's a himbo in the best way.
You know what they say about those stupid ones?
Yo.
They got the fattest cocks.
No,
Yeah.
what are they? Oh, what
Like
is
an elephant trunk just waving in the
what
wind.
did I used to say about stupid? Oh, it was like so funny. They're just dumb guys. They hump away. They're good at that. Either way. So, and then I stopped seeing him and I hooked up with this other guy. We really got along emotionally, or I guess mentally, we can talk and blah, blah, blah. Well, same with the other guy too. And he just had like more regular penis, average penis. And I was like, yeah, this feels like just as good, to be honest with you. Like this feels.
Let's go.
Win. W in the chat.
Put a lowercase d in the chat.
We got this, dude. Don't worry. Little D's for the win. No, like it's totally about the emotional connection that you make with someone, and also about, your technique for sure.
Yeah.
Because
Technique.
see, this guy with the regular dick, he was doing things that the guy with the bigger dick didn't do, but then also the guy with the bigger dick was still doing things that maybe the other guy
but the
didn't
guy with
do.
the big dick just had a big dick.
Well, no, he was good at sex too. I won't even say that he was good at sex. He's very all around a very good lover in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But
At a boy.
But it's just everybody. I just feel like everybody brings something different to the table, and you can't really be like, well, it's because he has a big dick. It's not.
Yeah.
Because it's. I don't know. So.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, again, like,
it was like a totally different
porn
experience.
sells you this like, oh, you have to be like swinging, and like even in porn, like dudes aren't even like.
There's
that.
so many regular penises
Yeah,
in porn,
just-
and I love it. Like
yeah.
one of my favorite guys to work with ever is Tommy Pistol, and he's the meme that goes around like, this guy has had sex with more women than every man you know in your life combined. And that's so true. Tommy is like an OG. Like he's probably, I don't know, him and Johnny Sins. I mean, they're probably tied for goddamn. Because Tommy works a lot, man. He fucks,
That guy fucks.
He fucks.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Try live like Larry? No, live like Tommy. Like,
Yes, live like Tommy Pistol.
that's crazy. Okay, first off, very mature answer to a very immature question. But
Yeah.
I was like, you can't like throw me this alley-oop and not expect me to slam dunk it. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
And thank you for the ego boost.
Yeah, for sure.
She's like, I just told them what they wanted to hear.
No, and Lemmy's like, I don't care.
him on
My
the
dick is
back.
huge, so he's like, whatever. This isn't my problem.
He's
Yeah.
swinging.
Yeah.
He's swinging.
I don't know.
I've seen it. It's like this big. Okay, last question we can wrap up here. I want to know, would you encourage, I guess the question should be, would you encourage would you encourage other people to join the porn industry? Like, meaning, like, would it be different for girls versus guys versus transgender people versus gay people? Like, is it all around, yes, this is a great industry, like, oh shit, the other thing I forgot to ask about was the porn community. Like, I'd love to hear more about that if you can go into that. But I mean, just in general.
I'll start with that and then go to the
Okay,
next
cool.
question because that will
Yes,
help.
let's do
lead
that.
in.
Yes.
So Well, I guess you just were kind of like curious, like what are they like, catty, I guess, or what kind of
Community,
people
yeah.
are they, or what?
Yeah, I mean, like, what is the porn community like? Are you guys tight knit? Is it extremely competitive? Like, is there like beef? Like, I'm thinking like influencers, right? Like,
Yeah.
I got to
Yes.
spend my little stint in LA, and like influencers
Yep.
were like beefing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
bro, like,
Yep.
you don't get as many views as I do. Like, my TikTok's popping, and your shit sucks. Like,
It's 100,000% like that,
really,
especially in LA and in Vegas too. Those are like the biggest kind of
Yeah.
like hubs, and then Miami is also pretty big. But
Yeah.
everybody shits on Florida because LA is. They're always like, yeah, sorry, Miami, fuck Miami.
Dude, that caption is. Hey, yo, real quick. Fuck.
Sorry, I just had to get that out.
No, I love it.
I love it. I love it.
So and it is like being in LA and then doing porn, and it just it makes it even worse being in LA, and then now social media being such a big part of like who's getting shot and everything. The influencer aspect is a huge part of it too, because now porn stars are influencers and vice versa, because influencers are making OnlyFans and they're doing nudes and lewds and where they just take like implied nudity photos, like sexy pictures, but they don't show anything, which I think is awesome. Like I think that's an amazing way for like young people to experiment with sex work and be like, is this something that is good for me? You know, kind of leading into your question, like, oh, is this good for everyone? Is every industry the same? It's a great way for someone to dip their toes in, like, is this good for me? Can I handle the backlash from my friends and family if they found out? Can I handle some of the overzealous fans or the rude people? It's a great test. But the porn community in LA, because I've lived there like 3 or 4 years now, it's very cliquey. It's very much like high school, and it's very tight knit.
Yeah.
But it's also that everyone has their cliques, and some people it's kind of really hit or miss. Like in porn, you will literally meet the coolest, nicest, most open-minded, friendliest, like best people you'd ever want to be around, and then you can also come into contact with some of the worst fucking people in the world, and I want to fucking literally murder them, and I can't. Like I literally want to fucking assault them, and I can't. I think a lot of girls have the thought, so I'm just saying you were thinking it. You said
Yes. Yeah.
I said it.
Yes.
I want to kick your ass.
You have the balls to
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick your ass. So and yeah, so like, you know, there's the popular kids, and that's like all the like Brazzers contract stars, Vixen contract stars, and those kind of people that get shot all the time. And I would say it's about top 50 to top 100 female performers are the ones that are like getting shot all the time, like regularly every week. It's like, it's honestly pretty common. I tell girls this all the time, and they're like, what? And don't get me wrong, some girls join porn and like off the bat they got like 10 shoots a month, 8 shoots a month, 5 shoots a month, 15 shoots in a month, and then, you know, shit like that happens for sure. But also if you're not that girl, it's not a big deal. Like I was a slow build up. For many years I've regularly worked like a few times a month, and then for mainstream porn scenes, and then every once in a while I'll have like a good month and I'll have like a bunch of shoots, or because I do hardcore stuff and DPs and double anal, I typically, when I do go to work, I make more than most
that makes
girls.
sense.
Yeah.
So there's that kind of makes up for it as well. And then
They work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Do you have like really like good friends who are within the community?
okay, so
Or I saw like on your story, you put something on your story that was like, hey, anybody in the porn community, like I'm doing a little Thanksgiving get together.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool as fuck. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't even like think about that. Like there's probably people who are in that community who don't have good relations with their family and aren't doing
Yes.
anything for Thanksgiving. Like
Yeah.
that's cool as fuck to me. That's cool. I like that.
I was extremely lucky and so grateful every day that I was not, you know, ostracized by my family and friends. And honestly, most of my friends, like, I maybe had like one negative reaction, and all they did was like ghost me after a while and just wouldn't talk to me anymore. And I'm pretty sure that was why. Well, that was the only thing that changed between us. And then at first it was like cool, we were friends, and then he just stopped talking to me. We were totally platonic friends too. Like it wasn't like a romantic relationship.
Got it.
But yeah, most people are totally like not in contact with their families anymore, and then they're living in LA, so all their friends are back where they're from, wherever that is.
Mhm.
And so in that sense, you don't necessarily need to be a part of that clique either. We definitely find each other, and that's how we do it, you know. And I mean, I guess also too, it's not like I necessarily would have let anyone come over, but that's why I said, you know, porn mutuals, or like, you know, a mutual is like a friend of a friend or a friend or something.
Yeah,
so it's
absolutely.
extended a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe not like a complete stranger. But okay. So leading into your next question, like, is this something I would recommend for other people, or is depending on the person and etc. Now, every industry is different. I mostly work in the hetero porn industry, and then when I have my opportunities, I do, you know, I step into kind of the gay world and in trans porn by doing those types of scenes, and vice versa. But the gay industry is completely different. The gay male, man-on-man sex industry is totally different than hetero. And honestly, I'm gonna avoid some details just because I don't want them. It's not what it seems, and I'm very supportive of the gay industry in general, but it's not. It's not always a good decision. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yes, sex work is awesome all the time, and like everybody should do it. Like, no, dude. I'm like, lately, you know, I've done this for so many years. I'm burnt out. You know, I'm thinking about just doing something else for a little bit, just, you know, and then I'll be refreshed and I'll be excited about making porn again, you know, thinking about she needs a spot, and I want to kind of get out of LA, to be honest with you. And I'm like, oh, I could sign a 6-month lease and work at the club that she's working at. She's like, I made $1,800 and I didn't even have to pop any pussy. And I'm like, oh, you think you're better than me now, huh?
Teresa getting that money.
You slut shamer, you fucking slut dragon.
You slut dragon.
Slut dragon. So I was like, okay, I could be a server or I could strip and dance. And that's something I've been wanting to do. A lot of porn stars do what's called feature dancing. And actually what happens is the regular dancers, they fucking hate the feature dancers because, well, like I said, she's a server. She's not a stripper. And I'm not looking at her because she dances. But just to clarify that. Not that maybe she will. So they don't like us because we get paid per dance. We'll get paid like a couple hundred or more per dance, plus the tips that on stage, and then if we want to do lap dances and stuff and interact with that, we keep all of that too. So whereas obviously the girls don't get paid per dance, and then also I don't actually, because I haven't done it personally, I don't know if it's an option to not do lap dances. I've always wondered that.
It's contingent on club.
True.
So, and it's also like there's a different type of stripper for everyone. Some like make their most money on the pole. Some people make their most money in the room. Some people make their most money in the booths or on the floor. And the lethal combination is if you can master 2 or 3 of those strategies.
Oh,
okay.
That's so
depends on the club. Depends on where in the strip club, booth, pole, private room, and the goal is to just, you know, be good at all of them. The dream.
And interestingly enough, what a lot of girls don't understand is that if you work in teams or if you're working with like a group of women, you make more money. And there's a way to like monetize more if you can like offer more of it in experience. So if you meet someone on the floor and you're with your homegirl and you're like, oh, hey, maybe you do want to go to a room or you want to get a booth. Then that makes more money for each of you.
Doubles. They're called doubles.
Well, too, I saw this live in action in Vegas. So I went to Vegas. I think this is when for the Iowa State. So where we went to college, the football team played in Vegas, and two people that we knew who were there. We went with, or one of them. They wanted a picture with the girls outside one of the casinos, and
showgirls.
Yeah. First time there, they had no idea. They were like, oh, it would just be, you know, cool to get a picture with them. So get a picture with them, and I think it was 2 of the guys. Got a picture with. He asked one of the girls, and like the other one came over and took a picture, and afterwards they're like, you know, like,
where's the money?
Like, where's the money? And it was so funny, like, watch them, because I feel like in my head I just knew like they're gonna ask for money. I was like, I don't want to like take a picture. If I do, I'll pay them, but like at this point I don't. but they were kind of confused. And then he was like, they not like an argument, but they're like, wait, what? You know, they talked it out, and then they like, you know, paid him or whatever. And they're like, we were walking back and like, God, like if I knew I had to like pay, I wouldn't have blah, blah, blah or whatever. But the funniest thing is the one guy was saying, he was like, it's kind of weird. I asked the one girl to take like a picture, but then the other one came in too. And I was like, because they're about taking their team.
Yeah,
It's a
take
team
it as
thing.
a team, and yes, and it's
You
like
call them the team.
they can also like just kind of like how y'all work together. You
Yeah.
can, like build off each other.
Yeah.
Like, build a repertoire. If like the conversation's like kind of going in like a different direction, then some girl can like come in and like have your back.
Yep.
It. And it's also like a safety concern too.
That's
like,
it. That
if
makes
something is uncomfortable, then you got someone who has your back.
Yeah.
Eyes on you.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
I love
honest.
it.
I want to wrap this up. No.
Yes.
I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah. No, you're good. Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, but we can't. Okay, hold on. I'll try to do the plugs. Or
She's-
actually, we'll just wait for her to
Yeah,
come back.
she's gonna
and
do
then-
an outro when
Yep.
she gets back.
Yep.
and all that.
Like our whole like MO of our podcast is that we've like I have this story where I fucking got blackout drunk and just pissed on my carpet of like my college apartment floor, just like in my room, just drunk as fuck, peed on my floor, woke up at like 4 or 5 a.m., puked like right next to where I peed, and then like as I'm cleaning up the puke, I like looked at my phone and it was like a text message from my roommate who was like, "Hey man, just thought I'd let you know like you peed on your floor last night," and like my puke is here, and like I just like kind of moved my hand over here, and it was just piss,
Cold piss.
Yeah.
like and just like it'd been sitting there soaking in.
Oh, and it was a rug too. Did you just throw
Yeah,
out
yeah,
the whole
carpet.
rug then?
No,
Oh,
like we had carpet.
Oh, wow.
Let's just say I didn't get a lot of that security deposit back.
Yeah, I guess not. Does it stain? I don't know. I guess it depends on the color of the carpet.
I think those carpets were so. You weren't the first probably person to piss on them.
Yeah.
so they were
Absolutely
just
Oh
like.
yeah, it's a college apartment. Then yeah, probably not.
they're just like.
Well, and not only that, but
It's pretty
like
legendary.
these apartments, both of us lived in them at a time. It was literally a barn that got converted into apartments. So they like put this like they like split the barn in half and then like made like 3 units out of each side. So there were like 6 total, and it was just like it was super cheap. It was like the most college-esque type of apartment you could live in because it was like 2 minutes from the bars, 5 minutes from campus. Like perfect place to live if like you lived our lifestyle where we would just get drunk like Thursday to Saturday.
Yeah. It was ideal.
I sometimes think about that, and I'm like, should I go to college now while I'm still kind of young and it's not weird? And
Unless you're
scam?
like super
Okay.
like, let me do my education.
Yeah, if you're in LA, you can get that same shit. Honestly, probably better.
Oh, okay.
It's nothing special. Like you shouldn't go into debt to party. there.
Unless you're doing like.
Okay, thanks. That makes
you're
me feel
like-
better. You guys.
If you're like, I want to be like a like a rocket engineer. Like, yeah, you should probably.
okay.
Yeah. But like any
for the
like
experience,
marketing
no.
or like advertising, like I think you could sharpen the same tools just on your own.
Yeah,
For sure.
probably 100%.
If
Do you-
not, learn on your own.
Huh.
Do you
Okay.
want to explain what just happened over there, or do you want to just skip it and end the podcast?
I don't know. Like, was it recording the whole time, right? Or did you stop them?
No, everything's going.
Why
We're
don't
ripping
you
it.
just like
We'll
you
just-
can leave it in what happened, and you can just let people like.
Oh, we're gonna cut all. I mean, you could barely hear anything.
You couldn't hear any of
Just-
it.
yeah.
It's all on the mic.
Really?
But if
What-
you want to leave it,
Okay.
if you want to, we can leave it a mystery, and then maybe if you move back, that's the story we'll start off in the
Yeah.
next podcast.
Yeah.
I kind of want to leave it a little
Mystery.
vague, like what did happen? Because like leaving the part where I'm like, I gotta go. Can we just wrap this up? I gotta go. Because people be
Yeah.
like, wow, she's a bitch. Like, what's that
Yeah.
about? And I was,
Yeah.
So
You left someone a little present.
Yeah.
yeah. Luckily, it's not gonna be you guys.
Yeah.
So, but fuck, wow.
Thank God.
That's
Thank
like no.
God.
You know what? Maybe I will talk about it because here's the thing. It's like literally worst case scenario when first time meeting someone. Like you go into their bathroom, blow it up, and then the toilet won't flush. Come on, dude. It's literally worst case scenario ever.
I didn't even think about it like that.
And it just happened right now.
I
And I'm about to finish this podcast. I don't even know how. My life is ruined.
I didn't even think about it like that.
It's bad.
I
My heart dropped when the
I-
toilet didn't flush, and I reached back like this, and nothing happened, and my heart just dropped.
yeah.
No.
You almost had like another one come out. You're just like,
Oh no, fuck. Well, in that point, I couldn't stop either. So I
oh,
just kept
own it.
going.
You own it. You.
It's too late. It hurt. It hurt.
This is great. If you made it to this late in the podcast, like you're really getting a fucking. This is so good. This is so good. I love it.
Oh my God.
I think of those bathrooms as like at my work where it's like you kind of like you go like we have like in office bathrooms, but like if you're like a level 10 kind of like thinking like mindset, you go out and shit in like you go out
community
yeah, you go in the hallway, so like your shame is like I could be anyone. Like I don't.
So you guys have like a bathroom attached to your other?
No, we don't.
No, we
I'm
don't.
saying at like my other job, like we have like ones in office, and I'm like I'm not gonna do that here, but like I'm going out in the hallway, and I'm just
I've definitely laid like
leveling that
stinkies
shit.
in there and been like, I feel so bad for whoever's
Yeah.
poor
Yeah.
soul, just like I gotta go to the bathroom, and then like they walk into like mustard gas. It's
Yeah,
the worst
yeah.
thing they've ever smelled. So you're definitely not the first. Don't worry. And it's not even your fault either. Like I was telling her because she was like, yeah, none of the water's working. Like, do you have any water we can like pour over our hands to wash it? And I was like, oh yeah, like during the podcast while I had my notes up, I noticed that like I have the Citizen app, which is like basically tells you how shitty your city is essentially.
It
like
is.
4
It's so
people
bad.
got shot and 3 people got ran over by cars, but like pay for our app. But they sent me a notification that a water main broke. So yeah, we're fucked. We don't have water. We're gonna die and not be able to get rid of our shit.
Yeah, I wonder if that's over at my place too.
I'm guessing. I feel like we're too far.
I don't know how. I don't know
You
how.
don't know how
city-
water-
I mean, the
I
other
don't-
bathroom
I don't know how
doesn't
water
stink,
works.
so there's still one bathroom if you have to go before you leave.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just
No,
go
I'm
in the
good.
one with the door open. Don't go
No,
in the one with the shower
one.
in it. Don't go in that
Like
one.
the-
That's the one
yeah,
I went
no.
in.
No,
Yeah.
we won't.
Thanks.
We're good.
Well, where our conversation was going, I was like, oh, like what if I just open the window and like pee out the window into the parking lot? And we were talking about people peeing on people. Yeah, it got really bad. It got really bad.
Yeah.
That would
Like jerking off on the fucking.
off a sky. No,
Yeah.
that's actually a great OnlyFans video. That's a good concept for a porno, like where you piss out the window into like someone's mouth. You got like.
Yo, it's like, you know how like I'm always thinking like, how can I meme this? Like, how can I like Instagram? Like same thing, but like, yo, how can I OnlyFans this? How can I like?
How can I turn this into a porn video?
Yeah. No, yeah. That was
That's
our original idea, was to like make a porn script, But it's cool too. This is a great
Yeah.
start though. No, this is great. We'll double back. We'll get around to it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
I think the script would be like for anybody
Well,
listening.
yeah.
There was a podcast where we talked about writing a porn script really ironically, and then Rebecca like saw the story and hit us up and was like, yo, you write something, I'll make it. And so it never happened. Like we were never able to like touch base on it, but I still think we should because like I want to die knowing that I was a porn
like a
script writer at one point.
co-writer, like.
And I was trying to tell you, like, we don't care if we don't want to get paid. Like, we're kind of chilling with it.
Yeah.
We're like,
yeah.
I just think it would be so sick if I could be like just to people I know,
Like
or
just the
whatever,
concept, like something like we like
Ben,
porn
director,
directors.
porn director.
porn director.
co-porn porn
Young
director.
MA.
Yeah.
She did that stuff with
Oh,
Pornhub.
really?
She directed
Who?
Young
Oh, no
MA,
way.
Young Ma.
Young Ma. Yeah.
I
don't know who that is.
Oh, she's a rapper.
Dude, what is
I guess,
up with you?
Director.
At least he knows. Like, don't know
Yeah.
Chloe Cherry, don't know Young Ma or Young MA. Is it Ma?
Yeah, she sings the song like, ooh.
Yeah.
That was so
Yeah.
like ooh.
Yeah.
That could be
I
any
know it.
song.
I know it. I know. Don't listen to him.
I've heard like 8
Me
songs.
and dude, Evan knows who Young Ma is. One of
Really?
our friends from college. Yeah. Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
She's real good.
That's
She
dope.
goes
That's
hard,
dope.
for sure.
Trying to think of the one song. Big. That's the one that me and Evan bump all the time.
You'll have to play. I bet I've heard it. I just don't know. I just don't know off the top of
Yeah.
my head. Cool. Well, I think we wrap it up. I think this was an awesome podcast.
It's either we stop now or it's like another hour.
Yeah,
That's true.
exactly.
I kind of
Kind of
get
like
that.
how it happens.
Yeah.
And you got to drive, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna drive back.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. No, we can wrap it up here. Rebecca, thank you for coming on.
Thank
you
you
for
so
driving
much.
here.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like,
thanks for having me.
we appreciate it.
Super
Yeah.
excited. This was super fun. This is great. I can't wait for it to come out, and I'll definitely
Yeah.
share it on Instagram. And then
Sweet.
when I get my Twitter back up, I'll definitely probably make some promo or pull some promo or something for that.
Awesome.
We make like hella clips out of our podcast. So
Okay.
like I'll
Yeah.
send you the link and like you're free to use those assets however you see fit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
I-
if you put it to your YouTube too, I'll promote the YouTube whatever platform.
Win-win.
Yeah,
Okay, sick,
I'll
yeah.
promote it for sure.
Awesome.
perfect. And like would this be possible? Is there any way we can put stuff that like isn't porn related on Pornhub? I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, you can.
Like, could we put like a clip from this on a Pornhub?
yeah,
I'd be down
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that.
Dude, I see.
Yeah,
I was gonna
I've done
another. I could. We have like. I have another like 50 questions. I feel like I have, but like I've seen like people put their like gaming clips on Pornhub. Like they use it. They use it as like YouTube, and I'm just like, that's so funny to me.
Yeah, it is kind of funny.
Just like there, it's like. I mean, it's even us with like OnlyFans. It's like basically we were like our thought was like it'd be so different to treat like OnlyFans like Patreon, where it's like, oh, this is just where we upload.
Yeah.
Whereas like OnlyFans just has like the clientele of like, you know, OnlyFans.
And especially when we started saying #1 podcast on OnlyFans, like we were like, it was like OnlyFans was only used for porn. I feel like now
Yeah.
they're branching out. Like
Yeah.
they reached out to the other podcasts I produce, like trying to get us to like use it as Patreon,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay.
So they're trying to rebrand it and whatever. But that was just kind of like, I don't even remember. I think we just made a joke about it because
Yeah.
Logan Paul's is like #1 podcast in the world. And I was
Oh.
like,
I thought that was
#1
Joe
podcast.
Rogan. Whatever.
he probably-
I don't know. You can say you're the
Yeah,
number one anything.
Okay, that's true. I was gonna say
You're the #1 porn star in the
Thank
world, probably.
you. You know what?
Yeah.
I am. I just decided right now.
exactly.
I am.
Yeah. That can be the thumbnail. Like,
Hey, yo, how many of those porn stars can do a double anal?
More than you think, but not
Oh,
as
okay,
many.
never mind.
It's
It
definitely a
whittles it
small
down, though.
fraction of
Yeah.
performers for sure.
yeah.
But
And you're up there.
yeah, I am within a very small fraction. Thank you. Thank you. That's true. I know.
Mhm.
I gotta
Just
give
find a
myself
niche
credit.
and own it.
Yeah. And I was gonna say too, so basically what's good about Pornhub and X videos and PornTube sites is that you don't have to worry about censoring anything and you can still monetize it. You can get ad share revenue or whatever on Pornhub
Yeah.
and you don't have to go through the beeping and censoring and like so you could put this
Yeah.
like the most explicit parts of this podcast on
Yeah.
Pornhub and not censor any of it and people would probably watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get tricky with these clips.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well,
I can tell like when you guys post like with you beep it out and then you like misspell it in the reel
Yeah.
and like so
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
too. We're all kind of on the same page with that.
trying
It's
to
bad.
dodge the AI, like
Yeah.
Yeah, right? It's
A
bad.
robot like throwing a baseball at you and you're just like,
Yeah. It's Yep, but okay.
cool.
Thank
cool.
you.
Do you want to pitch all of your
Yeah.
links, all of your
yeah,
socials?
because people want to write this down.
Yep,
exactly.
okay.
Write it down. Get a pen and paper.
Grab a pen, paper, grab your phone and open the notebook app. I'm going to wait.
All
All right, that's long enough.
Okay.
My OnlyFans is onlyfans.com/Rebecca Vanguard. My Instagram is Rebecca Vanguard Official. And my clip store with over 200 clips of many varieties is RebeccaVanguard.manyvids.com. And Vanguard is spelt VANGUARD.
Perfect.
Guys, go check her out. She's awesome. We love her. Thank you again, Rebecca.
Thank you. Round of
Make
applause.
sure to subscribe. Do all the things that help us. Go follow us at Not Sarby Studios, at Definitely Not Sarby Studios, at Zem Daddy, at Ben Sarbacher. See you guys next week.
Peace.